Forest has some ties, so we stumbled into a couple guys there. But again, been very, very impressed. I think he's done a nice job of just connecting those guys together, and they've done a great job of team recruiting as a defensive staff. It's like last night I was on the phone. We had a four-way phone. I never heard of a four-way phone call, but these iPhones, I guess, let you do that. But, it's kind of amazing trying to get everybody to be quiet so somebody can talk. But we had four of us on their side. Just thought they did a good job of team recruiting from a defensive side. I thought he did a great job of leading the charge for us there.
Who were the guys you got on after he joined the staff? I mean, who were guys that were, that maybe he was
I had another contact that got us into Will Dawkins, but he knew the coach. We had recruited a kid from his high school last year, and he had done the same thing. He knew the coach. That helped. The Walton kid from Carver is a guy that he went down to see. Robert McCray is a guy that he went down to see with Coach Inge as well, as was Darian Miminger. And so might be missing another guy, but I think for the most part that's it. And a couple guys we went after that didn't work out.
You obviously went after receivers a lot, losing Cody and Kofi. Just how do you feel you did about just kind of replenishing that position?
I think we've got some good young ones still to work with. We'll be fine, but I wanted to try to get a little size. That's why I think to get Simi Cobbs late and to get Dominique in kind of late and mid-year is good because they're physically a little bit more mature, bigger guys. Not that means they're better, but a couple of those guys you lose some size and length out there, which is one of their fortes. So. Again, little Jay Sean, I think is very dynamic. Loved him at camp, and I think he shows up potential to be similar to the guy that plays for us now. We'll see if he is, but coming out of high school, he's similar. Maybe has some things you even think maybe farther along, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. And then Corey Kill is a guy I think under the radar, but again a bigger 6'2"ish. He'll show up at 190s, and I think he's again gives us a little size. So with the young guys we've got at receiver, I thought we were a little bit more in that 5'11", 6 foot, 180, 90-pound range. I think we're trying to find a few more. When you recruit receivers or when you recruit, like everybody says, how many old linemen you're taking? Well, we're only taking one guy like this guy that's playing center, and one guy like this. All those bodies are taking 4 DBs. Hey, that field corner is different. They're all different bodies. And I think at receiver, I think we got some good players, but I think we got some of the bodies that hopefully will fit some of the voids that we might have.
So you wanted to go a little more outside, obviously, because you had some slack.
I don't know about outside, just
bigger,
just some size.
Right.
For example, I think Shane Wynn potentially could be a nice outside player for us this year because I think by some inside depth, he's a good player. So, and sometimes the inside guy and little guy's a good route runner matchup. He's not a good blocking matchup because of those linebackers. So, give and takes. I just thought we needed a little bit more size on defense and perimeter. Backers and safeties and corners, more size, more length, more speed. And I thought the same thing at receiver. Just a little bit more in the basketball world. We weren't taking point guards this year. We're trying to get those power forward guys.
Coach, coming into this class, you guys focused on certain positions, O-line and quarterback on offense, and the secondary, linebackers on defense. I know the attrition and stuff like that can change, but looking forward, is there any position for next year's class that you guys are looking at? We need to get some guys here.
I'm not sure. I think we got 16, 17, 18 seniors. Like last year we started, this year thinking we'd have 18 scholarships. It ends up going potentially to 28, whether it be early graduates and medicals and whatnot. So, I don't know. Sometimes the numbers determine that. I think we're getting, when I looked at our numbers, when I look at our class, we're starting to look at like 17 or 18 seniors to be, 17 or 18 juniors to be. So we're getting to have a little balanced. And hopefully we can start maybe need-based instead of all of a sudden have a void. Like I said, I think, we took a gamble last year not taking any offensive linemen. But we only had one senior and really only one, didn't lose any of our starters this year. So moving forward, I think we're going to start to have some continuity. And, if you got 18 scholarships, hopefully it's 8 or 9 on O, 8 or 9 on D, a little bit of both. A little too early. I think it'd be reasonably well-rounded if we answer it.
Kevin, with so many kids flipping commitments these days, how much of a challenge does that put on you and your staff right until the end?
It's real hard. It's the hardest thing. We talk about rules, like, one of the comments that's made, like, should we have earlier visit dates? And I don't know if we need to have earlier visit dates because kids are getting around, and with technology you can see and make your decisions. But I sure wish we had that early signing day like basketball did. Because, you got guys committing in June, and now the 12th hour this weekend say you don't want to come. Well, you've been holding off people. You know, like, hey, I got a spot for you. You know, as a program, if you do that, hey, I've got you, but then I call you as the high school coach. Hey, I can't take you now. This one over here is a little bit better for me. You know, it's a tough deal, but you know, the kids got to protect themselves. I understand that. You got coaching changes, so all of a sudden you lose a guy. There's a ripple effect, and water keeps just moving around. And I mean, like I say, it's the last few days have been a free for all. I mean, it's been hectic. I mean, it's been hanging on for dear life. And some of the stories that kids hear. And you come back to, if you do a good job recruiting, hope there's enough trust and a strong enough relationship, you can weather the storm. And once in a while you might get a guy late. Once in a while you might lose a guy late. I think at the end though, instead of worrying about, I think it always works out. You get probably who you're supposed to coach, and hopefully you just do a nice job of evaluating those guys. And like I say, I don't have a hard time if a guy don't want to come. It's his choice. Sometimes you just worry about the effect. Sometimes those guys, they took an opportunity from someone else. I actually had a kid in my office wanting to commit. And I said, well, I know I got a spot. But then a week later, that spot wasn't there anymore because he changed his mind. And now the guy wanted to commit. He was a little offended. He went on down the road. And, you know, if you knew how it was going to play out, you could have covered your bases. But it's tough. But it is what it is.